Aberdeen tomorrow, a bit of a tougher opponent this time round?
I always think with 20 sometimes it's hard to fathom out how you're going to be. Certainly over the last couple of seasons Aberdeen's been one of the stronger teams in the league, so they beat us twice last year, and they're a decent side, good young players. So listen, I'm always convinced it's about what we do, how we perform, how we play. If we can maintain our consistency level. Some players, as I said last week against Inverness, probably had their best performance of the pre-season so far. So if they can continue that tomorrow and put in the same level of performance in, I'm confident we can get a positive result.
In terms of the players at your disposal tomorrow night, do you think you'll have any first team players in with you tomorrow?
Well, there might be one or two. I don't think there'll be any established ones. I know Kieran Kennedy's come back from injury, Louis Malt's come back from injury. Probably a little bit early for them. So we may have one or two dropping down. It depends what the manager thinks and it depends what he feels. It's always good for guys who haven't played a lot of first team football to play, but I also think it's important when they do come in, they then have to go and impose themselves in the game and they have to set a good example, which we normally get from the senior players. For example, last week Lee Lucas and James McFadden set the tone for us really well, and they worked hard and they put themselves about, and David Ferguson as well. So I think when they do come down, they have to do that. They have to give the kids a lift, and sometimes they're taking young players' places, so they have to go and justify that. More often than not we get positive reaction from them, so I'm hoping there might be one or two dropping down.
What are the keys to keeping that level of consistency from the last time out, Craigs, to take it into tomorrow?
That's probably the million-dollar question, because that's up to the young players. They have to. That's how they progress quicker. That's how some of them progress into the first team a little bit quicker. Is the performance level stays the same. They get better at what they're doing. It probably depends how they train. We have I wouldn't say a system or style how we want to play. We have objectives we want to achieve in the game, and I think the more often they achieve those objectives and the way they play, and centre forwards getting goals, hold up play, wide players getting crosses into the box, I think that's more about individual game. Once they can continually do that, then they'll improve, then they push on to the first team. So at this stage it's just about them trying to replicate, and the better they do it, then probably the better for us.
Obviously tomorrow night's the game. What will sort of be the plan for training today and tomorrow then?
Well, tomorrow will be off just in preparation for the game. Today is just really probably going over patterns of play going forward, just reminding them of their defensive responsibilities. Any kind of training we do will be based towards the game. It's hard because today's the only really day I get with the matchday squad. Some of them are involved in the game on Saturday on the bench, some in play, get on. So I don't see them on Friday because the manager's using them for prep for his game. Saturday I don't see them because they're preparing for the game. Sunday we have off. Today's the only really day I get. So today's probably a bit of a cramming information in. It's not information that's new to them. They should know the information. So it's just going over habits really, and just making sure they're prepared. They know what to expect. They know what to do when we have the ball. Defensively, they know what to do when we don't have the ball. So it's kind of just match prep squeezed into one day. Ideally I'd rather do it over 2 or 3, but that's the life of an under-20 manager.
The long trip up to Nairn could have been a hindrance. It wasn't at all. Do you think there's going to be an advantage playing at home this time at Airdrie?
Well, you hope so. You hope they can get a better day recovery. You have to trust they can go and look after themselves and be healthy and eat the right food and do what they have to do. So it's all about learning experience. I prefer an afternoon kick-off, and I probably think they do as well. But the evening kick-off makes you learn about yourself and how you adapt and how your sleep pattern goes, and how you've got to recover and all that kind of stuff. So it won't affect the game at all. It may affect that it's on AstroTurf. I think we all prefer to play on grass, but we have to go to Airdrie. We have to play on the AstroTurf. But performances last year were good at Airdrie. I think as I say, a lot of the players' performances were good. So it's just about trying to maintain that.
Perfect. All the best, Craigs.
Cheers,
mate.
Thanks, boys.